Welcome back to the Talking Hedge. I'm Josh Kincaid, and this is your Cannabis Business Podcast. We are here live at Headset. I'm here with Liz, and we're going to go over 420 data as we approach 420, the biggest cannabis holiday out there. We're going to dive into these reports and see what kind of fun stuff we come up with. So this will be the third year in a row I've done 20 stores on 420. You see a lot of people in the stores. Are you one of them, Liz? Do you go on 420 and go shopping?
So this will be the first year that I'm able to. I lived in, while I was doing the data science for Headset, it was remote, so I was living in Texas and in Pennsylvania.
Oh, wow.
So I couldn't really go into any stores on 420, but now this year will be the first. I'm really excited to, so especially just to see what it's like, kind of how that, what types of customers are in there. One of the things when you work with as much data as we do here is you start to think of everything in numbers and patterns and algorithms, and sometimes going into the stores just to like visually look at people, like look at the things in their cart, like really inspires you to do different types of analysis and think about customers differently. So I'm super excited for that and to buy some weed.
So you're a customer, you're also an enthusiast, and you see this stuff all the time. I found it interesting to see that a half ounce is cheaper than a full ounce, and so there is some strategy to that. What's going to be your strategy on Saturday, 420?
Oh yeah? I don't know. Honestly, I like for what I'll purchase myself, you mean? I'm really one of those people that usually asks like what's popular. It always really interests me what's popular in a market. I'm not the most particular person in really anything in my life. I'm a very like curious and exploratory person. So definitely some of the infused pre-rolls see a lot of bumps. I don't know if I've ever had an infused pre-roll, for being honest. I just moved here in February, so it's not the...
You're going to have to try one.
I know, all the SKU assortment is new to me, so I probably will pick up one of those just for fun. Just because, it's interesting. I haven't really had many beverages too, so that's my goal this year, is to like branch out and try some new beverages.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna have to report back.
Totally. Yeah, I'm real excited too. Yeah.
There's some really interesting sales bumps that we saw. Like the Cannabis had over a 4,000% sales increase. Carbonated beverages over 250%. Massage oil lubes over 200%. And some shatter over 200%. So definitely the day to go to see what's being sold, discounts, and there's some new products that are only launched during that day, some strains and some other stuff. So diving into the numbers by basket size, it's important to note that the average item fell considerably both years, meaning that customers are preferring holiday bargains, which further suggests first-time or occasional buyers. The average item per basket increased from 1.7 each year to 2.6 on the holiday, which could also indicate less seasonal consumers, as they might be more interested in sampling more different products to find out what they like. All told, almost twice as many people came in and bought 50% more items than normal, though many of those items were at lower price points.
Yeah, and a lot of that's driven by pre-rolls. A pre-roll is very cheap compared to, buying an ounce of flour. And we do see a lot of people come in to buy pre-rolls during that time, and so I think that kind of drives down the average item price, but it keeps the baskets higher because we are picking up more items for sure.
It's almost like Black Friday, where you'll see dollar pre-rolls, and it's only for a select number until it's sold out.
Yeah.
And so it's almost like traditional retail cues.
I think so,
for
yeah.
cannabis.
And I think the retailers that are going to be like super successful and see those bumps well outside of average are the ones that do a really good job of kind of cross-promoting products when people come in. One of the things that's difficult to do with quantitative data, behavioral data, shopper data, is figure out why someone's doing something. We have to make a lot of inferences. But just in looking at the data, it seems to me that 420 is kind of treated as like a treat yourself day. Like it's not your standard Saturday night. This is I'm that thing that I've it's been too expensive, or like I don't know if I want to try it. Like it seems to be a day where those types of inhibitions are lower and people really want to try something cool and interesting. So if you are a retailer, kind of those cross-promoting of interesting, maybe higher priced items, I think would probably be a pretty successful strategy.
So the conclusion with 2017's report is that 420 sales boost isn't going away anytime soon. So the market is seeing more new cannabis consumers who are probably less familiar with the day's connotations. It's already become well established with the cannabis industry Black Friday. It's interesting to note that there hasn't been a single 420 on a weekend yet. So savvy retailers can use 420 to capitalize on adventurous and occasionally lavish spirit, tailoring their promotions to promote new products and splurging a little. Either way, the sales boost from 420 is significant across the board, giving everyone involved plenty to celebrate. And so what will people buy on 420? There's predictions based on data from 3 years of the big day. We'll get into that right now.
No waiting. Right now. I'm diving right in. I'm ready for it, man.
Let's do this.
Yeah, let's do this.
So you had mentioned Gen Z, but we're going to talk about millennials because Gen Z was the first time last year that you were able to get some data, but we've had a couple years with millennials.
Totally, yeah.
Who are typically frequent purchasers but not big spenders. They open their pocketbook a little bit wider on 420. Headsets looked at specific products which do well on 420, and it's heavily weighed towards single-serving items, as you might expect, although not always the size you'd think. So Headsets learned that the loyalty programs play a role in 420 sales, which should be useful information for anyone who works in retail. And most interestingly, Headsets looked at pricing and discounts for 420 and noticed that people still buy a lot of cannabis even if it's not deeply discounted. The data shows that consumers' participation in the holidays seems to be driven more by enthusiasm for cannabis and the legalization movement than bargain hunting, which speaks to the unique nature of cannabis consumer base.
Yeah.
So you were kind of mentioning you were really excited just to get out there and try it. Are you more influenced by that ability to just kind of try new things, or are you going to be driven more by discounts?
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably be driven more by. To me, it seems like a holiday, and my personal preference would be, I can buy cheap stuff any day of the year. I wouldn't want to forfeit, the ability to get like something cool and interesting that day to save a few dollars. But there's definitely people that see those, really cheaply priced ounces and just, take as much as the law allows.
This guy right here, be buying that $30 ounce tomorrow on Saturday.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a lot of people that treat it that way and think, hell yeah, I'm going to fill up the pantry.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're going to get to that too, because I guess there's a post 420 report that we're going to get to in just a couple minutes, and it kind of dives into that hangover effect, which is legit.
Yeah, sales hangover, right?
I want to thank my guest, Liz Connor, Director of Analytics at Headset. Liz, thank you so much for spending time with us today.
So with that, we're going to roll this one up. I'm Josh Kincaid. This is the Talking Hedge, your cannabis business podcast. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, or don't. And I'm out.
Bye.